Hello, good day, my African people. Did you know that Europe's biggest automobile maker, Volkswagen, is considering shutting down some of its plants in Germany and even Belgium? Just a few days ago, we published a video in which we said, we asked a question, actually, that is the West entering its century of humiliation under the Chinese automobile industry? And just even before 2 days finishing, before the end of 2 days, information is coming out that the Volkswagen group is considering shutting down some of its plants in Europe. And let me show you a little bit of what they are saying. This is news which is coming in actually about 1 hour ago on Bloomberg television, that Volkswagen is considering shutting down its plants in Germany, some of its plants in Germany and Belgium.
This is a historic move being considered, of course, by VW to shutter factories in Germany for the first time in its 87-year history. This is EU car makers lose ground, the Chinese manufacturers in the race to produce electric vehicles. Let's get more with Bloomberg's Amir Auto's industry team leader, Elizabeth Berman, who covers all of this for us. Elizabeth, what does this news say then about the state of the car industry in Europe and how perilous that situation is right now?
Now, what is happening is that China is competing on a very serious note. China is competing, is all in on this competition when it comes to the automobile industry. So what basically is happening is that China is completing the circle, or what you may call the victory lap. Okay, China is taking a victory lap when it comes to the advanced technologies. And the only technologies which we are remaining was the automobile, which are giving the Western world an edge. And for it, of course, to continue to dominate the world, it was the automobile, the aircraft industry, and the semiconductor manufacturing. And of course, then those who help to power the manufacturing of military weapons. All right. So China is sort of completing, is taking a victory lap. Now, China's automobile industry, automobile industry has progressed so rapidly that it caught the Western manufacturers, automobile manufacturers, by surprise. They do not even know what to do. There has been this sudden change or transformation of the technology itself that these big corporations, just like how Nokia was not able and BlackBerry were not able to adopt when Apple brought the smartphone, they were not able to adopt quickly because they have these huge procedures which they have already established. They are doubting whether to switch to smartphones or not, whether the smartphones will be the communication device of the future or not. So this is the same situation that we are seeing that is facing Volkswagen and including Toyota. They are falling behind, Ford, General Motors, all these traditional automobile manufacturers are facing huge problems. And the other thing which we can think of actually is that these countries where these corporations, these monopolies come from, have thought that they would dominate the world forever, all right? And of course, they have mixed this up. They mixed up capitalism with some sort of militarism, dictatorship, okay? So they thought that if they have this technology, they are going to last with this forever and nobody will be able to catch up. I don't like President Museveni for one reason. Due to our differences when it comes to the unification of the African continent, because he's someone who's against the unification of the African continent. But President Museveni of Uganda, there is some good things which he's been saying. Now, he said that even though the West wants to keep the rest of the global South down, it is just wasting its time. Okay, this tactic is a waste of time because, like it or not, these countries will catch up. Soon or later, the countries will catch up and will start manufacturing these technologies. And of course, Uganda itself is manufacturing its own vehicles right now, even though they have not yet commercialized. But they have some vehicles which are already on the road moving. All right. Now, when they catch up, what are you going to do if you are the West? Because look, you have been depending on the world in such a way that you don't like to share these technologies. For technology in the West is looked at as, these technologies in the West have been looked at as, let me say, a luxury, all right? But when China gets these technologies, it democratizes these technologies. When the Global South gets these technologies, they democratize the technologies. And this is what we are seeing even with the aircraft industry. The West is terrified because China is making progress in this area also. China has just launched its 14th narrow-body aircraft, all right, with China China West, China, I think it is China Western, and also China Air, right? After they had launched the first almost 7 aircraft with China Eastern, airlines. So this is what is happening now, that they are spooked that these technologies have fallen in the hands of the Global South, because for all this long, they have used the coercive tactics to keep the Global South dependent on them. And then they have bragged that they are so advanced, all right? They are so advanced, they don't want to transfer these technologies. So there's something which Tupac said one time, that he took what Notorious B.I.G. Glamorized and he personified it. All right. So this is sort of like the thing I'm talking about right now. Or this is sort of like what has happened with technology. That when China took this technology, what the West glamorized, China personified these technologies. It makes these technologies accessible, to the rest of the world. And one example, of course, is the mobile phone. That when the mobile phone came, and China got its hands on this technology, it produced plenty of them for the rest of the world. So that the world can be communicated, can have access to these technologies. And now when it comes to the automobile, it's the same situation that we are seeing that is happening across the world now. That China got its hands on these technologies, automobile technologies, but even it did not just get its hands on these technologies, it out-innovated the West. And this also brings to mind another situation and another narrative which the West has been having, claiming that the West and their political system is the only system which is capable of innovating. Now here we are, a system which they have been demonizing in China, which is the Chinese political system. They have been demonizing it. Now it has out-innovated them. So it shows you that these people are living in lies, all right? And also it brings to knowledge and understanding, of course, to us, the Global South, to appreciate the fact that we can catch up and we can compete. And here we are, that now the Global North and its factories now, they are trembling, they are in panic, they are in retreat, all right? They are in retreat. And of course, CNN came out also to report on the same situation. CNN came out to report on the same situation, and is saying that a serious situation. This is what CNN is calling it, a serious situation. That is the top of the heading of the article. Volkswagen, that's the title of the article. Volkswagen could lose plants in Germany for the first time in history. And look at the first paragraph, what they are saying in the first paragraph. Volkswagen is weighing whether to close factories in Germany for the first time in 87 years. For the first time in 7-8 years history, as it moves to deepen cost cuts amid rising competition from China electric vehicle makers. So they cannot compete. It turns out that the West, when it is business for business, they cannot compete. You remember very well that when our countries were weak, people like, of course, Africa is still weak, but of course, the general Global South. And we are saying that the general Global South has risen right now, has gotten its muscle, now is up. But during the period when the West was at the peak of its powers, people like Adam Smith came out to write a book in the Wealth of Nations and say that the reason why our countries are not developing with the Global South is because we are lazy. We don't work. We don't like to work. It is easy because we live in a good environment. We just get up in the morning and we go and pick fruits on trees. All right. So our situation is not bad. So we don't like hard work. That is why we are behind. And of course, the wealth of nations. That book is trying to show how nations become rich. All right. So now what you wanted to depict is that these countries are lazy. Now, when we started working, when our countries started working, they claimed now that you have to work smarter. Okay, you have to work smarter. And so all these, economic theorists now have to be, debunked. All these theories have to be revised. All right, these economic theories, I think, that have to be revised by the global South economists. And a new narrative on economics has to be painted. A new narrative on political systems has to be, new narratives have to come up and be written when it comes to these, theories that are outdated. All right, these theories are outdated, and yet these are the theories upon which the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund are being run. And that is why they see the establishment of BRICS as a threat at the same time. So this is the situation now that is happening across the world. But what do you think? Because we have already spoken about this. We have already published a full video about this situation. The fact that, that the West is going to face its own century of humiliation at the hands of the Chinese automobile industry. We have published that video. Go out and watch that video here on Connect Africa and here on Africa Reimagined. My name is Kwame Gonza. Please support the channel. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the platform. If you are new to the platform, please subscribe and share it with others. And support the channel, please. Support us through our PayPal account and support us through our super chat. Of course, support us through our super chat so that we can continue to be here on the platform and to bring you important analysis. Now, what does Africa have to do at this particular moment? Africa also has to integrate and build the mega, industries. It's, mega corporations. That is what Africa has to do at this particular moment. We cannot stand back. We cannot, slacken at this particular moment. We have now to compete. We have a level playing field at this moment. The knowledge which the West consumes is the same knowledge that we are now consuming also. So there's no excuse now for Africa not to compete out there with the rest of the world. And that is the bottom line. Thank you so much. My name is Kwame Goza. Once again, the platform is called Connect Africa and Africa Reimagined. Please support the channel, and don't forget to give us a super chat. Don't forget to contribute to our PayPal account so that we can continue to be here on the platform to give you all the best, when it comes to the African continent as things happen, and of course geopolitics, everything. You know what we do here at Connect Africa and Africa Reimagined. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. God bless you.